Thank you for tuning in. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope your experience is fruitful. Please feel free to visit our website to find out how you can join our growing family. While we are loading your experience, please do us a quick favor and hit that like button from whichever platform you're watching or listening on. Also, share so others may enjoy as well. And we hope you would consider hitting that subscribe or follow button so you can check out more of our amazing content. All right, let's start the show.
Hey, happy Friday, Junior. It is Nicole Vick coming to you live and direct. I don't even like to wear caps because I feel like they don't flatter my face well, but I have to wear it. This is a USC cap and I have my USC shirt on. And the reason why I have them on today is because today I had to sit. Let me tell you. I got to tell you the whole thing. First, I'm gonna tell you what happened, and then I'm gonna tell you exactly the details. Technically, today I am a doctoral candidate. I have passed my dissertation proposal defense. So what that means is I had to write chapters 1, 2, and 3 of my dissertation. So chapter 1 is kind of, give some background. Chapter 2 is sort of this literature review. What does the literature say about the issue studying? And then chapter 3 talks about how I research my specific. So I write all that. And let me tell you, a 75-page baby, over 100 references. It's a lot. It took me, I feel like we started in January because I write with, you met my friends last week, my classmates. I think we started in January and I feel like I finished June, at the end of May, June. So it took a while. 75 pages worth of information, resources. And so then I have a committee. There's a chair of this committee who is a professor, and she says to me, nope, this is not good. Keep writing. I need this. This is, there's some gaps here. So a lot of back and forth. And then she finally will say, you are ready. You're ready for your proposal defense. Schedule it with your committee. And so I have 4 people on my committee. Most people have 3. I have 4 because I'm extra. I'm a Virgo. Of course I'm gonna have 4. But I wanted my committee to be filled with people that I knew had my best interest at heart. So 2 of them are actually professional colleagues / friends. I am blessed to know people that have doctorate degrees. Dr. Nomsa Kalfani, who is co-host, you see her here every so often, is on my dissertation committee. Another woman, a professor I had undergrad, is on my dissertation committee. I wanted her to complete the circle. I'm really big on beginning and end, completing the circle, which is why I have a Sankofa on my arm. And so she was there. And then I have, of course, my chair. And then there's another woman from the school that I'm in that is also on my committee. Baby, let me tell you, they ask questions and you're supposed to know the answer because you have written this thing. You are the expert. But I found myself tongue-tied. I'm like, huh? So you go into this Zoom meeting. They're all there. They say hi. They put you in the Zoom room by yourself. So you sitting here like this, just waiting, like what's going to happen. They're having a conversation. They're talking through some things. And then they bring you back in with them and they grill you. And it's not like a bad thing, but they're asking like questions. And then they say, okay, we're going to put you back in the room. So then you back by yourself like this, like, and then they bring you back and they're like, congratulations. You have passed your proposal defense. We're very excited for you, blah, 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 blah. Boom. So that's what happened today. Literally, like from 4 to 5 p.m. today, that's what happened. So yay to me. Super, super good news. The second piece of good, I have an updated website. Thank you so much, Pyro Media Network, for sitting with me and revamping my website. We got new pictures. We have a Spotify podcast list of all the podcasts I've been on. I need to do some more because I like talking. So that's there. I have more of my videos. So there are a couple of videos that I had done, speeches that I had not put on my website. So my TEDx talk is on my website now. There's a speech I did with Black Speakers Network is there. We have added a way to get in touch with me. Like if you want to book me, remember y'all, I'm an MC for events. I do the panel thing. Like I do speeches. If you need me to do those things, you can hit me up through my website and we can have a conversation about that. So two really, really big, awesome things today happened. I'm so hyped and just like excited. My professor, my dissertation chair was like, don't do nothing else today. Go just relax because there's plenty of work to come after this. And I'm like, dang, you right. I thought I was finished. No, I ain't finished. So anyway, yay! Woo! Okay. Now we gotta talk about talk about something else right now. Listen, I know everybody is talking about Miss Carly Russell. Everybody's talking about this child and the things that she done did and what had happened. I intentionally was like, I'm finna wait because I feel like something wrong, but I don't want to speak too fast. I don't want to speak too soon about what's going on. Now, I know everybody ought to know what happened, but if you don't know, I picked up the USA Today article. She was reported missing about a week ago. She had called the police and said, hey, I see a toddler out here on the roadway, and something's going on. Can you send help? Then she called her brother's girlfriend, I think it was, had a conversation, phone line dropped. Well, it didn't drop. She was talking and then it sounded like she dropped the phone, rather. I'll put it that way. And then they couldn't figure out, like, where is this child? So they went out there looking for her. Her family did. Police showed up. They're like, where did she go? She showed up a couple of days later, like, hey, I'm back. Everybody's like, what? Where did you go? And she was like, some guy kidnapped me and I was tortured and this and whatever. And I think around that time, people started to get suspicious. Like, this don't make no sense. And I'm going to say this. This is where I'm coming from with this. When she came back, I'm like, well, what happened to the baby? Where's the toddler? And if I seen a toddler walking down Crenshaw Boulevard by themselves, I would hope that more than one person would call. And the police were like, we only got her call about this toddler. So what? So it was just stuff started looking kind of funny. I will say personally, I thought that if anything, she had a mental breakdown, right? An anxiety attack, or, she's under stress. She's in nursing schools. I thought that's what happened. I was like, so I don't know if she's lying or is she literally just kind of lost it and thought she saw a toddler. Like a lot of things happen when you have a breakdown or sort of a meltdown, right? And so that's kind of where I was coming from with it initially. But then when they did the police did the press conference, I said, oh no. The Google searches was sounding real funny. And then it was like, oh, it's a thing with this boyfriend and the boyfriend is doing this thing. So then I was like, okay, unfortunately, it sounds like perhaps she may have not been telling the entire truth about what had happened to her. But then the dialogue around this went left really fast. Like, oh, she's setting us back. She's one person. And if you can't, be smart enough to know that what one person does doesn't really, most people that are harmed or human trafficked, kidnapped are telling the truth. Okay. It happened to them. Most times something like that happens to someone, they're not lying. Unfortunately, it sounds like in this case, it might have been a little something funny that went down. It'll all get figured out in the end. I just hope that she gets the help she needs. Like, don't do that. And the rest of y'all don't get no ideas. Don't do that. Don't do it, please. Because to be honest, there are thousands and thousands of people right now who are missing, specifically Black women, Black trans women, and they are missing. And no, we need those resources. So please don't get no bright ideas and think y'all this don't make no. Don't do it, because we need to find folks that are actually missing. Now, she didn't set nothing back. If you understand how this society operates, we already at the bottom of the totem pole. She ain't made nothing no worse. Challenge the systems, challenge the ideologies that create a situation where Black women, when they become missing, are often ignored. A couple episodes ago, I feel like I talked about this missing white women syndrome, and in relation to the fact that white women, when they go missing, they get more media attention, which often drives more police response, often drives rewards, right? Which often helps them figure out what happened. So there are other things at play that have a bigger impact or issue or concern around women of color that go missing. And it ain't Carly. Carly ain't did that. Now, she done messed up on a personal level, but what she did will not change the landscape of what's going on with Black women missing in this country. Okay, y'all. But I have my concerns. Woo! But again, y'all young people, please don't do stuff like that. Don't do it, because first of all, you stress your parents out. Her mama probably was beside herself. Like, what is really going on here? And it takes a lot of resources, and it just stresses everybody out. So find other ways to get, stick it to your boyfriend. You're trying to get back in here. Find other ways to do it. Don't do that. Okay. Please don't, because you have people thinking something really happened to you and it didn't. Yeah. So that's all I got to say about that. I think it's time to go on a commercial break, baby. And then we're going to come back and recap last week's episode of Nicole Vick Live and talk about what's going on social media and a whole host of other things. I'll be back.
This episode is sponsored in part by Bullet and Flight Radio. Get ready to uplift your spirit with Bullet and Flight Radio, the world's leading progressive Christian radio station. Experience the vibrant fusion of gospel house music and a rich medley of inspiration from all musical genres that'll make your heart soar. Join their extraordinary lineup of today's trailblazers, visionaries, and voices that matter, all sharing their stories and wisdom. Stay plugged in around the clock as they broadcast unmissable content 24/7. Your go-to station for all things inspiring. Become a pilot today by visiting bulletandflightradio.com. Bullet and Flight Radio. Your story, our station. Step away from the chaos and noise of your daily life. Experience moments for yourself that are calm, serene, and full of peace. A necessary respite to foster growth within you, because self-care should be luxurious. Lux and Noir.
All right, we're back. Now, last week, I had the pleasure of having some great folks on the show. If you missed it, you missed out, but that's okay, because you can see the video on YouTube at Pyro Media Network. It's all there. You can see it. So we had 4 of my classmates join me to talk about the fact that, there are only 4.4 Black women with doctoral degrees in the country. Ain't that that's crazy to me. That's crazy. That is crazy. And they offered words of wisdom. We talked about the good, we talked about the bad, and we talked about the ugly. I mean, it's some, ugliness in doctoral programs. The other thing we talked a lot about was the importance of sisterhood and connectedness and finding your tribe. So let me just say, I'm gonna, give you some words of wisdom from that conversation. One of the things that was really important and is important, because I'm not done with school yet, right, is creating networks of people. So, for example, in your classes, lots of reading, lots of it, like lots. It's crazy. Create a reading group, split that reading up, right? And then you meet once a week and talk about the reading so that when you go to class, you know what's going on. You can contribute, raise your hand. Yes, professor, actually, blah, blah, blah. And then you look really smart. But you didn't read everything. You read your article for the week, but there were probably 5 or 6 of them. Everybody else read and put their notes in the little share document. And then, like I said, you have something to refer back to. And plus, you have a discussion with your reading group. That is so important because it saves you a lot of time, and you get to lean on other people in your cohort of classmates. And so you're not doing this alone. It's not like, oh my gosh, I'm sitting here by myself. How am I do this? No, you have shared the load with other people. What is that saying? If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. It's kind of that kind of thing. I hope I said this quote right, because I don't know, child. Other thing, writing. Don't write alone. When it's time to do your dissertation, you're trying to get your ideas together. We go to the library or to the coffee shop and we sit there literally all day. I mean, 7 hours we're at the library, but I'm writing across from a friend or two. It depends on who all comes out. And I'm like, does this make sense? What about that? Or I know my friend across from me is writing about XYZ. Hey, I just saw this journal article. I'm gonna send it to you. This might be good for you for your paper. So we're bouncing ideas off of each other. We are sort of vibing off the aura in the space of let's get this done. We're in community. Let's make this happen. So those are some easy tips that I share with people in general. But one of the other things we talked about in that episode is how important it was to seek each other out. Like, our classes are virtual. So I remember, like, we sit in the Zoom meeting and I'm like, okay, where the Black people at? Who should I reach out to? Let me chat in the comments to this Black person. Hey, hi. You got to do it. You got to find your people. And you got to connect, because we know how unique our experiences are. We know what our challenges will be. And so it's good to kind of mesh and really get together with those folks. We have become close. And I mentioned in the episode, we've only met each other in person as a cohort twice. Some of us are local to LA, and of course we see each other more often, but it is not impossible to do. If you have been thinking about going into a doctoral program, please consider it. Reach out to us. And we'd be happy to help you figure out what you need to do. So one of the things we asked was, why did you do this program? And Erin said something really profound. She said, I think about it in respect to the kingdom and the culture. Right. And so she was talking about who she was as a Black woman, and also, a testament to her faith as well. And she also talked about normalizing Black excellence, which I thought was a beautiful statement from her. Teresa talked about, and actually she's Dr. Teresa because she already finished her program. She talked about feeling powerful and having other people see her as powerful. I was like, yes, I am powerful. And you need to see that I am powerful. Hello. Hi, how you doing? Powerful here. Woo! I love that she said that. And toward the end, we had an amazing quote. Brandy brought up an amazing quote from Zora Neale Hurston, because we said, well, what would you want to say to someone that's considering this, getting a doctorate? And she said, Zora Neale Hurston said, learning without wisdom is a load of books on a donkey's back. I said, what? Learning without wisdom is a load of books on a donkey's back. And what that really said to me is, it really reminds me of how important my culture and my perspective and positionality is to me and to how I am studying and what I'm studying, right? And it also reminds me of how important it is for people that look like me to be in these spaces in academia and in research, right? Like, nobody's talking about some of the topics that our classmates are discussing. So watch that video for sure, because you'll hear that most of what my classmates are studying or researching is about Black women in corporate spaces, fat Black women trying to navigate healthcare and some of the bias that happens. Like Jake is not studying that, okay? But Brandy is, or Teresa, or Josie, right? So it's really important for us to be in these spaces because we bring our history, our lived experience, and our positionality to academia that people aren't really talking about. So check that episode out. And that quote is top tier. I need it on a t-shirt. Because I know people have said this, it's real stupid people with high degrees. You want someone that has that wisdom and that book smart and that lived experience, right? That perfect combination to really make that difference. So yeah. All right, y'all, we're gonna transition to social media. Social media. So on LinkedIn, y'all, there's been some weird stuff happening on LinkedIn. I feel like LinkedIn is doing like Instagram has been doing. LinkedIn has been suppressing some of the Black influencers, that have large followings that talk about things like DEI, social justice, really important stuff like that. They have huge followings and they post stuff and they get like 3 likes. So I feel like LinkedIn is like, y'all done had a field day on here talking about all this stuff. We want to go back to pre-COVID time. Let's just make this back the boring space that it was. So LinkedIn is really interesting to me right now because I'm watching this happen in real time. And I was starting to enjoy LinkedIn. And I'm like, well, now y'all done made it boring again. What happened? But anyway, one of the things that came up on LinkedIn for me, there was an article about the CDC. There's some cuts to the Centers for Disease Control budgets that will affect state and local health departments. And for me, the irony, we just came through and we're still in. I don't think it's been declared over, has it? The COVID pandemic, maybe it has been, but people are still getting COVID, okay? We just went through this thing. And then I'm sitting here like, so the answer to that was to cut funding to public health? That's not the right answer though. Like, this is the time to say, oh my gosh, we went through this huge thing in the last 3+ years that has really impacted the public health infrastructure. We have gaps. Things that need to happen, things that need to be funded properly so they can work the next time this happens, because it will happen again. We will have another pandemic, right? But the response instead was, oh, let's cut the funding. So then we're going to end up in the same situation however many years from now when we have the next pandemic. I'm not going to sit here and act like I know, but something else is going to happen. There's going to be another public health emergency and we're going to not be prepared. We're going to be scrambling. Oh my gosh, what's going on? Because they cut funding. So that was my disappointment on LinkedIn, y'all. I don't know. Really bad. Instagram, again, is Instagram. I share my nail looks still. Y'all, I feel like I'm getting really good. I went to get a pedicure the other day. I don't go get manicures, obviously. I do my own, right? So I'm in the pedicure, getting my pedicure, and I could hear, oh my gosh, I could tell they were talking about my nails. And so I went like this. And then they said, oh, is that Gel X? You trying to play me? No, it's not Gel X. If you don't know what Gel X is sort of I'm not going to say it's a cheat. It's a more convenient way to get nail extensions. So you take a full cover tip, like a press-on. It kind of looks like a press-on nail. It's made out of gel, and then you adhere it to the nail, and then you can do your nail art on it. So in a sense, it's a way for people to do their own nails at home. Professionals do Gel X nails as well. But I was like, no, this is a nail tip with polygel, which is a type of acrylic. This ain't no Gel X. I did it myself. I got an e-file and all that. So it's always funny when I go to the nail shop. They're like, oh my gosh, who did your nails? I'm like, me. And they're like, really? You did a really good job. I'm going to get my license one day, y'all. So Instagram is just me showing my nails. Most of the time reposting things I posted other places. I don't really do much there. I try to, but Now, TikTok is my jam. TikTok is the space that I live in and I love. I haven't been as active lately because there's a lot going on. I had to get ready for this proposal defense thing. Work is working. So I didn't really get to post much on TikTok, but that is the place where I get to really be myself. And I share words of wisdom. I also share my nail looks there. I share hot takes on what's trending, and all that. Now, one of the posts on TikTok was how I know I raised my child right. I was in here working, and she works from home. So I was here on one of my telework days, and I'm hearing 90s R&B, and I'm like, what is going on? And Mary J. Blige, Tevin Campbell. I said, I have done my job. My child knows what good music is. And so I had a whole TikTok on that because I was dancing in here to her little soundtrack that she had going on, her little playlist. And so that was really cool. And the funny thing about that is I saw another TikTok of a millennial and a Gen Zer, and they were playing music, and it was like, okay, do you recognize this song? I said, how this baby don't know none of the music? It was all like early 2000s music. She was just standing there like, I don't know this song. You have not raised your child correctly. Fix it. Fix it immediately. The other thing I talked about on TikTok, listen, I know it's plus size women. We feel like sometimes we have to hide things or try to hide things. The reality is you are hiding nothing. Okay. I have big arms. Okay. They're big, relatively big, bigger than, Okay. So it's hot. It's summertime. Am I going to put a jacket on? No. I'm going to wear sleeveless. I'm going to wear strapless. I don't care. I am hot. My arms will be big in the jacket. They will be big out of the jacket. So why not just wear the sleeveless thing and be comfortable as opposed to putting on layers of things in an attempt to hide? I remember many years ago in my younger days, I've always been plus size, except for a small time in maybe my late 20s, early 30s. But I remember going to Lane Bryant because back then that's all we had was Lane Bryant. And I used to kind of wear baggy shirt, not tucked in. And, I was younger. I didn't, I was thinking if I hid myself, she said, wear your size. Don't wear oversized clothes. Wear your size. It doesn't make sense to try to, add bulk to your body. Wear your clothes. Your shape is your shape. I mean, like, what are you hiding from? And so that was a really good piece of information. Now, everybody has a different level of comfort with their bodies. I get it because it is not an overnight thing. You figure it out as you go along. But just a reminder, listen, it's hot outside. Why you got your arms in this jacket? Everybody else got on sleeveless. Take the jacket off. Okay. That's what I was talking about on TikTok. And the last thing, child, listen, when you get to be a certain age, a woman of a certain age, you learn that certain things play in your face on purpose. They just tap dance in your face. I was out, matter of fact, celebrating Dr. Lucas. We were going to dinner. And so I'm sitting in my car. I was early. So I'm sitting in the car and the sun is, outside is a beautiful day. I pull that, it's not the rear view mirror. The rear view mirror is in the middle. The little, I'm talking about, you put the little visor down. There's a mirror in there. I had pulled that visor down to look in the mirror, and my mirror has a light. So it's sunlight, light, and the mirror. And I'm looking to put my lip gloss on. Listen, hair. I said, you know what? I might as well go back home because I look like, I don't even know what I look like. But I clearly had missed plucking correctly on my face, and the mirror in the car, along with the sunlight, told on me. So, and I posted that on TikTok, and I actually posted it on Facebook. And of course, all the seasoned friends of mine were like, oh, girl, yeah, that's why you bring your tweezers in the car. Why y'all didn't tell me? Why I did not know this? Why? Why am I just hearing this? So the mirror in the car will embarrass you. However, I'm also thinking if you're smart, go sit in the car with the mirror in the sunlight somewhere and plug, because then you can see everything. It's right there. Because the light in the house lies to you. You be in the bathroom and the bathroom light on, you don't see anything. But you go outside, it's all there. All here. I said, you know what? Yes. Anyway, y'all, I'm done. Follow me on social media. Why can't I can't even talk. All my handles are the same. All of them are Nicole D. Vick. Currently, TikTok is the most lit of them all. Honestly, I haven't been on there lately. I'm gonna get myself back together on there, but that's the funnest one because there's a lot of stuff going on. It just be a lot. People talking about Miss Russell and her shenanigans, and the next day it'd be something else entirely. So please follow me there. Check out my website. Do all the good things. Pick up a copy of my book. I might have to write another one because I didn't finish. When I finish school, I got to write another one. I pushed it through. Yeah, that might be the next title. Thank y'all for listening to me ramble, child. It's been a beautiful day. I'm finna go somewhere and sit down with my water, but I might have a drink though later on. I think I deserve that. Thank you. Yay. Doctoral candidate Nicole D. Vick. You see, I put that EDDC right there. I'm getting ready. All right, y'all. I will see you next week. Next week, I think I'm going to rerun a video that I was on a podcast. I'm going to hopefully be able to rebroadcast that around toxic workplaces. So check that out. If not that, we'll do something different. But that's what I'm thinking in my head we're to do for next week. All right, you guys. See you. Bye.